Step one for these is to decide how much of this is going to be your handle. For a guy like me who has hands on the bigger side, you look at that and you might think there's not enough there to make a blade. But we've got a sizable amount of steel here. I mean, all these knives begin the same. Same length. They come in, they're about 6.5 inches when you start. So you can see how much we get out of that steel. But to me, the most critical part about making these blades is this transition right here. I always want to create an area where you're almost forging in a guard here so that your hand does not slip up onto the blade. That to me is the most difficult part, and we'll get into that. I'll show you that. I feel like the blade part's easy. Once you've made a couple of these, the blade seems to go really easy. I always toil over getting that just right. For your first blade, what I'd recommend is to take the knife in your hand or the spike in your hand and just measure it that way. Use a charcoal pencil, which is basically charcoal and has already been burned. So when you mark with a charcoal pencil, a white charcoal pencil, it actually stays on the blade for a couple of heats. So you'll be able to see that. That's kind of how I do it. If you are a beginner, I would recommend actually punching it. Because when you put a punch in there, you can see that punch mark when it's red hot. And that tells you, that just delineates, this is all handle, this is going to be blade. So let's mark it. Let's see, I know I got a pencil here somewhere. There it is. Always keep a spare pencil in your beard. There you go. So I would just mark it all the way around. If this is your first or second blade and you want to punch it, just take your center punch, stick it on that line. Actually, I would do it on this side, which will not show as much. So set your center punch up on your line. That way, I've got that little diamond right there, which will tell me everything from this point forward is going to be my blade. Everything from that point back is going to be my handle. All right, guys, now that we've delineated between handle and blade, we'll get ready to throw these in the forge, get them hot, and start working on them. Before that, I'll do a quick word on safety here. Always wear your eye protection. That's one thing, it's mandatory here at the school. Eye and ear protection all the time. There's no reason not to. I mean, especially working with a tool steel, you get a lot of scale that will bounce, and that's how a lot of people get it in their eye, is a lot of times as you're hammering, you'll get scale bouncing. So keep your eyes and ears on. And also, long hair, beards, I tie mine up, I put it away, I tuck it in, and I will also wear a bandana, and that's just to keep sweat out of my eyes and keep my safety glasses on tight. It's not just a fashion statement. All right, guys, here we go. Our next step, once we have it marked, is to draw out some metal here.